So recently I've been hanging out with my grandfather. My granddad is an amazing man, and I have been trying to secure my place inside of his will. It's one of the things that I pride myself on, being able to obtain the grains to listen the biscuit and go on and yeet the wheat. You see, I love making sure the yeast is getting on me because I'm making sure to get that bread because I'm a habitual bag chaser. That's what I care about. And the best way to do that is hanging out with your grandparents, making sure you secure your place in that will and make sure that if they pass away, you get an honorable mention. Maybe I'll get a house or a car or maybe even $25 or maybe his secret coin collection or maybe his Playboy magazines. Whatever I need in order to get more money, I'll make sure to have I obtain. So, by all means, we've been hanging out, we've been going zip lining, rock climbing, and he's bad at both of those things, so naturally, we've just been going inside of his household, and I've hooked up his Wii U to play YouTube videos. Yes, he still has a Wii U. So, we're watching some YouTube videos, and he's really enjoying watching dolphins harass humans and watching all these evil videos. The apple is not far from the tree. He's a very evil man, and I see exactly where I get it from. So, by all means, I say, well, let's go ahead and watch something else, and he looks to the right sidebar of the video and he sees something interesting. He says, "What's that regulating over there?" I said, "Huh? What's going on?" I see a video and I say, "Oh, right, that's what we call cheeks, Granddad. Thick cheeks. Two orbs. Two moons, one might say. Much like other planets that have multiple moons, Jupiter and things of that variety. That is what that is, Grandfather." And I looked closer into it. I said, "Oh, I apologize. That's a Femboy compilation." He said, "Like a tomboy?" I said, "Well, close, but slightly different." He said, "What's a Femboy?" This unveiled a series of events I couldn't have predicted in my entire life. I couldn't see this coming if I had 50-50 vision, which is basically 2020, which is basically 2025. Hey, who's watching in 2025? Hi, how are you doing? I was very perplexed. I said, "Okay, you know what? I'll click on it." The instant I clicked on the video, it's a femboy with cat ears doing this motion right and left. He immediately was entranced by the regulations of the thick thighs and sultry skin of the femboy. He said, "This is good." I said, "This is good?" He said, "Play another one." We watched 7 hours of femboys. He said, "How do I get this? What do I order one of these? Can I mail order it?" I said, "Oh, child, calm down." He said, "No, I'm not calming down. I need their longitude and latitude. I need to figure out how to get one of these things." I said, "Things? Granddad, femboys are not a thing. They're just a regular guy with feminine qualities." He said, "How do I get one? Do they hang out somewhere? They congregate somewhere? How do I figure this out? They got a hub? They got a way I can meet up with them and interact with them?" I said, I guess it's by the luck of the draw." He said, "Nope, we can figure this out. Pull up your phone." I said, "Okay." Lo and behold, I didn't want to show my granddad grinder. I didn't want to show my grandfather the world unbeknownst to him. So I pull up my phone and I said, "I think I found something," knowing that I already knew about Grindr. I said, "Here you go. You can sort this by bottoms." He said, "Bottoms? What's a bottom? That big bottom over there?" I said, "Well, on this app, it's called a Grindr, Granddad. On this app, there's a bunch of feminine men, some in many different varieties. You can sort it by what you want." He said, "Whoa, it's like a candy store, but of anal." I said, "Yes, Grandfather, like a candy store, but of anal." I keep forgetting where I came from. Despite the machinations of what I am, thinking that I'm original, I am merely a small smidgen of the horniness that resides within the world. The worst part is I'm asexual, but he's the predator. Asexual, predator. That's how it operates. So by all means, I tell him, "Well, you can download this app." He said, you can download it?" He said, "Put it on my phone." He shakily, excitedly, filled with the regulations of getting femboy cheeks, hands me the phone. I look it up and say, "Now, do you want niggas?" Or he said, "White." He said, "I only want white boys. I need to make up for lost time." I said, "Lost time?" He said, "Well, back in the day, you may not know this. My great-great-great-grandfather, he was not a slave." Okay, but he would hear about back in the day when slaves would get taken by their masters. I need to make up for lost time. This is reparations. This is retaliation racism. This is revenge. I said, all right. So I put the filters specifically to femboys and said, go nuts. I leave my granddad, giving him one last look before I exit the building. And he says, don't worry, grandson. I got this. 6 days pass. 6 days. I didn't hear a word from this man. I didn't hear a peep, nor a smidgen, nor nothing. I didn't hear a single thing. I didn't hear a rat fart in the garage. It was so silent. I didn't hear anything. Bada bing, bada boom. He sends me a message saying, look at this. It's him. It's an attachment with 2 images. Now, I'm horrified. I'm thinking he's going to show me him beating cheeks. I'm thinking I'm going to see something crazy. And then he sends a message, where do I get honey packs? 5 question marks. All right. He's learning too much. He's getting information like a sentient AI. He's absorbing all the information from the world, and I don't know what to do with this information. I don't know how to help him. I said, calm down, granddad. Calm down. You're learning too much. He said, nah, I figured it out. Don't worry. I got this. The 2 images he sent me, one was him with 2 femboys, one with the leg up like this, and the other one drinking a margarita. And then the second image was him in bed with 3 femboys. I said, it's been 6 days. 6 days. Grandpa got riz, but I was really confused and concerned. So I drive over and I say, granddad, man, dude, what's going on? What's happening? Why are you with all these femboys? He said, why? Who wouldn't be after discovering a world as immaculate as this? Who wouldn't be after discovering the universe is bigger than what he once thought? Who wouldn't be enjoying the fruits of the labors of the feminization of men? It seems somehow that the advent of BBC has taken the masculinity out of these men. Because that's what I've been giving them. The British broadcasting cock. I said, okay, all right, calm down here. Let's take a second back. Let's loop it back a little bit. Just happy that you're happy, granddad. He said, I'm more than happy. And then he said, I think I've gone too far. I said, okay. Immediate regret. All right. 180 came out of nowhere. Didn't know that was going on. Half of the Xbox 360 in his emotions right now. I said, what's going on? Why are you upset? What's happening? He said, okay, well, hear me out. I'm hearing them out. My ears are open. Much like the prostates of the femboys that he's been inside of. He said, I wasted $7,000. $7,000 in 6 days? He said, yeah, that's nothing. They're just too alluring. I said, I don't know. He said, well, I've been buying them douches and enemas so we can meet up. And I've been telling them not to eat 8 hours prior because I've done some research and figured it out. And I've been figuring out about the confines of and how the back shots I've been giving them. It regulates so much. You don't understand it because a man know what a man want. Know what I'm saying? I said, okay. See, men know what men want. Women, they don't know how it feels to have a pecker. They don't know what it's like to have a Johnson. A big Woodley down there. They don't know what it's like to have a tube of tennis balls. Tall boy can of Arizona. They don't know what it's like to have that boy swinging and hitting your kneecaps. I said, understandable. They don't, but femboys, they know exactly what I like. Thought my prostate was out, but sadly, my prostate just wasn't activated. I said, oh, okay. All right. I'm learning more information, TMI, than I ever wanted to know about my grandfather. I'm learning information that the world should have been banned from. This should have been burned with the Library of Alexandria. This should have been gone. And he said, yeah. But I'm wasting too much money. I said, huh? I'm wasting too much money. I think I may spend more because I'm meeting up with Luna up a few weeks next. Who the hell is Luna? Luna is this femboy that I met. And I might even venture over to trans women. Who knows? They're just women. But they know how to satisfy a man better. I said, I think you're over-sexualizing what they are, and I think that is a problem. He said, I don't give a fuck about your wickety-wackety words, you old pussy. I said, That's understandable. I don't even know why I even tried that. I don't even know why I attempted to reform my granddad's mind with, ideologies of being progressive. That's just stupid. I don't know why I'm doing that. This man is 80 years old. I don't even know why I attempted in the later years of his life when he is getting free Femboy bussy. I don't even know why I even considered doing that. He said, I'm just going to do me. I'm going to live my best life. And by all means, I may be bisexual. And I said, by God, bisexual Jesus, have a fun and fine day. And I left that day, thinking that this would be the end of it. Thinking that I had heard the last of my grandfather's escapades. His sexcapades, one might say. I thought I heard the entirety of his entire lore. I thought that was it. Lo and behold, we go to a family dinner. Now, my grandma has been gone for quite some time. And my dad was a little bit confused about why he invited to a family dinner. Grandpa invited us all out, very confusingly. Yeah, we were all shocked. He never invites us out. He usually asks us to hit him up. But lo and behold, he pops up with 2 femboys on his arms to meet the family. He said, these are my main squeezes now. I will now be making sure that these 2 are known throughout the family. And I think I've set up my own failure. You see, my initial goal was to get in the wheel. That was my goal. But I think I may have knocked myself outside of the wheel. Because these femboys were obviously looking for my granddad's heartache medicine. They were looking to take out his soul. They were making sure he had a heart attack in the bedroom. I could tell by the thick, amazing, voluptuous thighs of the 2 femboys. I said, man, this is over. This is bad. I had discovered a few issues with femboys too. They are overly sexualized, but they also bring it upon themselves a lot of the time. It's as if femboy is all they are. It's a little bit strange and I'm insane about that. I'm a femboy. I'm hypersexual. Ha ha hee hee. That's a big issue. Didn't really enjoy learning that about the ideologies behind at least these femboys that I was encountering. This anecdotal evidence that I gathered by my undocumented, unrealistic, didn't mean to have this research going on in front of me. Anyways, I'll update you guys if I stay in the will or not. I don't know when he's going to pass away, but I hope I don't get knocked out the will. That would suck.
I'm your nigga night, be my lower low. Ooh, happy to try what you need. Your world, I love to live in it. Ooh, I love the ride when you